This is Thor the younger. Just got his straps off and is walking on his little feet. You see him? He's used to doing the little taped up shuffle, but look at the size of the feet on this baby. Remember how they used to be all little and curled up? Now those are full-size bird feet. And he's like maybe 10 days old. So, but anyway, I just want to show you a little boo that can walk. See him? I think one of his legs, this one on this side, is a little bit turned in. But it very well may remodel and normalize once he starts being able to walk normally. The hips are right where they should be, right up here. And do you see that little pretty yellow double factor spangle? And clearly, being in the same family as Thor, if this one turns out to be a boy, his name will be Odin. And if it's a girl, well, I'm going to have to look up some Norse mythology and see what he's going to be. So I just wanted to share that. I took the tape off the older one of Fluffy and Sprite's chicks. Hang on, I got to get this door open. Okay. So, and what I do is I take the tape off during the day, so first thing in the morning, and leave them untaped for the day. And then the first night I put the tape back on again so they can sleep with it on and, you know, reinforce, because when their legs are taped, it's supporting them and holding them in position, but it's not allowing them to get stronger because they can't walk. So here's little Thor. Hi, Thor. Hi, little Thor's a beast. He said, I'm not a beast. I'm a cute baby. Hi, cute baby. How you doing? And he's up walking around in that nest all the time. He does pretty little greeny yellow tail feathers. He's going to be very cute. He's going to be very cute. So I did learn something new on the splayed-legged thing. Hopefully I'm not going to have to deal with this a lot anymore, because I figured out my dietary mistake. But I also, with Thor's hip had become involved by the time I figured out what was going on. And it seems to have, look at the little one standing up over there. And it seems to have moved back into place. So I didn't think I could recover a chick where the hip was involved. Now, it was barely involved. Not as bad as the ones I've shown you before. But, so there is a way to turn that around, even when the hip's involved, if it's not too bad. So, so I had untaped the oldest one of Fluffy and Sprite's chicks, and by the time I went back out that night, he looked like he was going splayed again. So these chicks, Fluffy and Sprite's chicks, are 3 days younger, and I started treating them 2 or 3 days later. So it's just going to take, you know, I need to give them the same amount. Excuse me, I have hiccups. I need to give these chicks the same amount of time as I gave these two. So we'll come back out and check the little one out here this evening, and I'll retape him again because he's going to be tired after walking around on those legs all day today. So what I do is I tape him again the first night, so all night they're held into place and he can rest again, and by the next day their strength is up and they're ready to go for good. So, hi Bond, how you doing? Ever since I started sliding a little bit of calcium to Bond, he's looking a little better. He was starting to look a little rough there, and now he's looking a little better. So I took their youngest egg and their cracked egg, so they're down to 4 embryos and 1 empty egg. The reason I decided to leave with 4 is because there were 2 empty eggs in there before. And I fear that one of the dark eggs is maybe a dried up one or something like that. But it's hard to tell. So my decision is I'm going to leave them with 4, and when they hatch out 3 chicks, if there are any eggs left, I'll take it and stick it in the freezer. So they'll have 3 chicks. So that's the maximum number these birds can raise. The other thing that's interesting is that great big long back end that Remington and Razzle's babies have. They have just a long body is starting to appear in Fluffy and Sprite's babies. They didn't have the long body thing going before, and now they're starting to be just that. They're standing up, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on, but well, the little one just laid down. You see that long tail end on him? So I have a feeling that means I'm going to have some nice tall birds. Now Sprite, in spite of being normal sized, he was small before. He was in the mid-50s, but now he's matured. He's 2.5, and he's up to 62, 63 grams. Not a huge bird, but he has fantastic feather. Looks really nice, but he can't fly. And what that means is that his wing growth was stunted from rickets when he was a chick. So instead of a leg going, a wing went. So calcium is so important to these birds. But what that means also is that he's much smaller than he would have been. So with correct nutrition and a mate, Fluffy's a good-sized bird. She's 65, 66 grams for a hen. That's respectable. But what that means is we don't know what he can do genetically. He may have much more going than we think, than he looks like he has. So, but the fact that I'm seeing that great big long body start to develop in Fluffy and Sprite's chicks tells me that the nutrition I'm offering with the egg food and pulling the pulling the vegetables is exactly what I needed. I'm getting bigger chicks because of it. So there's a big secret. Okay, so that's an update in the breeding shed.